Hey, Chica, we're recording. Can I call you later?
Sure can.
Thanks, baby. Everything okay?
Okay. Yeah, everything's good.
Oh, hey, do your rap real quick.
I cannot. Are you gonna put this online?
No.
On the air?
Oh, hell no.
Who's with you?
Just Dave.
What up, Dave?
Hey.
All right, do it.
I can't do it. I swear. You're probably recording this.
I swear to God, I would lose my job. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Mel.
How's it going?
It's good. How are you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing well.
Good.
It's been a week, nothing too terribly exciting. I've had a bout of insomnia.
Really?
But, yeah, haven't been sleeping well. So if there's bags under my eyes or anything like that,
wow.
or if I nod out in the middle of the show, y'all just carry on.
I've been the opposite. I've actually been sleeping really well. I mean, almost too well. And I'm not really
wow.
sure what that is. My nutrition person that I'm working with is saying that it's my supplements that I'm taking. And so,
Good.
and she even said last night, she's like, "Oh, you look really refreshed and good." So, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So,
Awesome.
but yeah, I'm sleeping a lot, which is new for me, but,
Could be the change
of
weather.
I probably need it. Probably need it for sure.
Mhm.
So, but what else is going on with you?
Honestly, this may be one of the most boring weeks. I was supposed to start, getting Christmas up, and I don't know. I haven't been feeling it, probably because I'm tired. But yeah, no, it's really been a boring week, but this weekend's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Yes, it will.
Yes, indeed. Yes, we are going officially for real ghost hunting with Tim Chapin.
Mm-hmm.
And also with Brandy and her fiance, Michael, who also have equipment for ghost hunting. So this should be a really fun experience. We hope to make a podcast episode out of it. I bought a special camera. It's behind Dave. I see it.
Yeah, it is. It's right there.
So hopefully
right next to my Whip It.
It.
My Whip It Good dog.
That's right.
I mean, so what, I love this whole idea that we have people on the show and we then participate in whatever it is that they do,
Exactly.
So, I mean, when he said that he does ghost hunting, I was like, hey man, we need to try this. This is going to be fun. So,
I mean, we absolutely have to.
Can I get you on a motorcycle?
I don't know. I might leave that token up to Christopher.
We can get you onto Michelle's, which is super safe, super friendly. You're not going to go wheeling it over anything.
Oh, I'm not driving it.
Oh, no, it's not getting on the back of a motorcycle.
Right.
Come on. Really? No.
Yeah.
No,
no, really.
That's
why I was saying Christopher's, because he's got the cruiser thingy.
No, forget that. That's not doing it. That's not giving anything a go when you sit on the back of a motorcycle. No. We got to get you to ride one.
I am not going to wreck her bike.
That's okay. It's a dirt bike. It's made to.
All right, maybe.
It's not gonna. Yeah.
Maybe in the spring.
Okay, we'll do it.
Well, I'll work up to it. I'll watch some instructional videos how not to hit a cow on your motorcycle.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just twist it and rip it. That's how you do it.
That's right. Did you have anything exciting this week?
Nothing too exciting. I mean, I don't know. Did I mention? I guess in our last one, did I mention about the training I did back in Nevada? Yep. Yeah, probably. But I will say that I'm going back out to Nevada on Monday after our ghost hunting trip. We're driving out there with my motorcycle on the back of the car. I'm going to end up leaving it there so that I can more easily fly in to do some of the training I'm doing, which I mean, it's, living in the East Coast, if you're trying to participate in things that end up being these big desert races, you're not really going to do very well here. But I've got my other bike here that I can do woods racing and, keep practicing and doing, there's a lot of stuff I can do on that bike too. So who's on deck for tonight? What's going on?
Well, tonight we have Gabe Pardo, and Gabe is our skydive filmer, photographer that filmed us as we were falling from an airplane.
Melina.
It was. It's just the step out. I mean, come on.
I know.
It wasn't that bad. I listen, whatever.
Okay.
But yes, Gabe has a really incredible story because he's from Colombia, South America, and came here and somehow got involved with what he's involved with, but had to sacrifice a lot to get to where he is. And so I can't wait to hear his story.
Oh yeah, that sounds awesome.
Hey, Gabe, welcome to the
Hey.
show.
How's it going?
Yeah, hey Dave, how are you guys doing?
We're
Great,
doing
great.
wonderful. So great to have you on. Give it a go.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to see you again.
You as well. You as well. It's been, what was it, September 26th that we went? A day that will go down in infamy.
Almost a month and a half. Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies, doesn't it?
So what's been going on with you?
Not much. There has not a lot of flying lately. Weather conditions are not helping, especially this week.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I like to, do research on different projects I have. And I like to spend my time doing that. I like reading about crypto, reading about art, making art myself. So it's like I always have something to do. So that's no problem.
What
for
kind
me.
of art are you into?
Illustration mostly. I love painting. I love architecture. I'm a graphic designer.
Okay.
So yeah, I just like consume a lot of art. I love watching and finding different artists and trying to reach out to them and maybe see if I can get different pieces from them for not too expensive before they get too famous.
Yeah. Right on.
But I like it.
Very good. Very good. So, I mean, you have an amazing story, but before we get to any shenanigans of said stories, what are you drinking tonight at the bar?
I'm having one of my favorites. It's a very simple itself. It's a gin and tonic, cucumber gin and tonic.
Nice and clean.
Yeah, I love it. It's just refreshing. It's always, I don't know, it always feels good to have one.
Well, that's the whole point of having one, is to feel good. So
I like having them because they remind me of good times all the time. It's not like I have a gin and tonic at every bar I go to, but instead it's like for specific good times. I'm like, this is a good time for a gin and tonic.
I totally understand. I'm trying to get myself into the Christmas mood now that Halloween is behind us. So I'm going to start with a shot and then I'm going to move over to my wine spritzer, but got my cute little glass here. And I'm going to use Bailey's Red Velvet.
Never tried it before.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Found it last year, but I'm going to do half of that and mix it with peppermint Smirnoff. If I can get it open. Oh, God. There we go. I worked out yesterday with my trainer and I am sore. Can't open a liquor bottle. That's saying something. So, all right. So it looks like milk of magnesia, but that's what I'm having.
Wow.
Dave, what are you having?
I'm going to go with my typical classic Negroni. This time I'm using Hendrick's gin.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah. So the Negroni's easy. It's 3 equal parts. And that's why I think I am drawn to this particular cocktail, because it's pretty good and it's easy to make. So let me see if I can, I don't have my measuring cup to measure out my shot. So I'm just going to kind of,
Hey,
okay. So
when you
yes.
don't measure, that's art, right?
Okay. So the next component here is Aperol or Aperix, or you can use Campari. And like I've said before, just any of these Italian red liqueurs seem to be sort of in the same category. They're kind of bitter in varying degrees of bitterness. And so I kind of prefer this Aperix. It sort of splits the difference between Campari and Aperol, which is a little too sweet. But here, let's see if I can just kind of get that about right there. And then the third component is a sweet vermouth. And in this case, I'm using Dolan sweet vermouth, which is so far my favorite. So I'll put that in, and let's see if I can. Okay, there's a
Oh
little
God,
bit.
that's a lot.
Yeah, kind of probably is. I need to measure it out, but all right. Now toss some ice into it, and
Mhm.
there we
All right.
go.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers to you guys.
Think. There we
Right.
go.
So everybody, Gabe was the brave soul that hangs outside of an airplane with camera equipment and waits for fools like us to fall out. And then he follows us down and films us and then lingers a bit before he pulls his own shoot. You're the last one to pull your shoot, right?
I am the last one. I want to get away from you guys. So
I can't blame you there. I mean, do you laugh looking down on us like spinning out of control? And
I think I do from the first moment I see that door opens and I see your faces. When it opens. But it's it's not a funny love. Is seeing how much your body and your mind is going through at the same time, and I'm enjoying it with them. That's probably why I love it so much, because it's such a great experience to share that with the person who's jumping in. And I'm just like I'm the person that customer is looking at. So I want to have a good vibe, I want to have them excited, and I want to keep them excited. It's like, hey, this is crazy, but at the same time it's fine, and we're flying and we're falling at 150 miles an hour, but still look at me, I'm smiling at you, so enjoy it.
I don't know. And that's the thing. When you really love something, you do want to share that experience with other people. And for you to also not just share it with them, you create beautiful video that they can relive it over and over. And I have to tell you, Dave and I have watched that several times, and we just get so excited every time we watch it. So we're coming back in the spring.
I do have a secret that Mel shared with me about that moment, though. She said that her whole smiling and everything was for the camera. She said she would have otherwise.
That's not true. That's not what I said.
Oh, okay.
I was told to smile so that my face wouldn't flap.
What?
Yeah. But I found that, once Gabe flew up to me and I had to do, then I realized that I couldn't stop smiling because it was so much fun and bigger. And once you get past that, and we've discussed this before, once you get past that, stepping out of the airplane into 14,000 feet, of nothingness. Once you cross that fear barrier, then it's wicked fun.
Mm-hmm.
But that step out is hard.
It really is. I mean, and that was what was so funny for me in that particular case, was to try to keep my heart rate as low as I could, make a game of it, and it was just I could not get. It was up to 85, which was 15 higher than it was on the ground, and I'm like, man, I can't. I and the butterflies and everything, and it's just like, well, I mean, I just got to go and just kind of pretend like. I don't know. It was kind of funny because I think in my mind I had to pretend like I was just sort of stepping into something else. Like it wasn't, that I was stepping into a space, not into space.
Right.
It's kind of which was kind of funny. So but I mean the addition of the little backflip we did made it helped me be more calm, because it gave me purpose and something to do, in a way, kind of like I have a mission now, and so I was able to, for me it was easier because, it was, it's kind of hard to describe, but I felt like I had to, let's do this right. Let's, make sure I do a good job. Let's, whatever, be a pleaser kind of person or whatever, and so no, that actually helped me, to kind of have a little bit of extra something I had to do. So
I do have to say, though, on the ground, my heart rate was over 100. Dave's with this was a steady 68. But when we all jumped out, mine only got up to 116. So mine was the lowest once we jumped. Thank
You had already burned all your adrenaline at that point. You were already cooked. Because I mean, you were at 100 and something while we were watching the disclaimer video, the one that
I
said
know, because
that
we
you
were
could
talking
die.
about sex. I mean, come on.
Hey Gabe, have you seen the video that they show, the one with where they kind of that we sit through?
I don't think I've watched the whole thing. Sometimes when customers walk in and there's no instructors to give that short class, you know, the little intro before the video, I usually just play the video, stay for a couple minutes, and just leave. You know?
So our joke was when the couple in that, she's playing the part of a customer, a first timer, you know, and she's playing that part, and it's like, I mean, we're just like, oh, those two, they're totally fucking. They're totally getting it on. And I don't know.
I don't think we paid any attention to any of it.
Yeah, this is one of those things where you just have to show up. Just follow what the instructors tell you to do, and you're good.
And then you throw Jeannie in the mix with us, and it's just it's over at that point. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's get back to you, Gabe. I'm sorry.
Remember that you were keeping. No, I do know that you were of your heart rate and everything. And I found that odd because not a lot of people is like that aware of what's happening before the jump. And I do remember the bus ride we take to the airport. I do remember you were thinking about it like, this is my heart rate right now, and asking others, what's your heart rate? I think it was Melina that you asked. I was like, interesting. Never seen this before.
Well, it's us. I don't know why that was interesting to me, but I think it was Dave was trying to be cool as a cucumber on the ground, and I wanted to be the coolest in the air.
Well, I think for me, it's that, you know, when I lived out in San Francisco, I took, you know, almost like a year every week. I'd do like a mindfulness meditation class. So, I mean, that's, of course, when you live in San Francisco, that's what one does, you know, but, so I kind of have always had the ability to kind of focus in on stuff going on inside, because that's all that whole stuff is all about, is just making sure you know what's going on inside you. So I thought it was just kind of interesting to kind of try to pay attention, a little more attention to it. And see, you know, just sort of see what's going on. I just kind of combine those two. I did mindful skydiving. Isn't that super hippie? Isn't that great?
We're also a competitive bunch. He races competitively. Jeannie used to. I did for fun. So we're just naturally that way. But anyway, sorry, continue. We keep diving in on Gabe.
I do think it's an interesting way to see it. Mindful meditation. I was going to say mindful skydiving, because it happens so fast. I imagine it was for you guys. It all happens so quick that you're not aware of even anything that's going outside, and probably nothing that's going inside. You just leave the rush. Everything disappears, and it's only you on that specific moment for those 40, 50, 55. It's just that moment. The rest of the world disappears, all your problems or everything disappears. So it's nice to find awareness in it.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about anything other than, okay, first of all, getting out, and then focusing on you. And then, you know, and following what you guidance you were giving me. And then with Cray, who was the gentleman that I was attached to, listening to, you know, his commands, and then nothing else. And it didn't feel like a short amount of time. It actually felt like a nice long freaking 10 minutes or however long it was. Wow. I mean, I was very impressed. I was thinking it was going to be over like a roller coaster, and it wasn't. It was wonderful and just lasted a nice long time. And I guess it's because it's also in segments. You know, there is the ride up, there's the jump out, there's the free fall, there's, you know, and then, you know, pulling the cord and then that float down. And then that's when you really get to relax and enjoy the scenery and what's going on. But I will tell you, Dave was the only one that saw the arrow. Jeannie and I never saw an arrow. So don't ever let us go solo because we will not find our way home.
Well, I asked. I mean, he said steer us to that, steer us to the target. And I'm looking around and I finally see the target. And then I said, well, from which approach do we land on the target? And he goes, follow the arrow. And I looked down, I saw the arrow. So I was like, oh, we go to, so I wanted to kind of come in around that. He sort of, I think, worked me more at, let's say the arrow was pointing to 12 o'clock. We came in kind of more around like 9 from the side a little bit. And so I think my lack of experience, I didn't know how much, room we could have gotten to kind of come back and make like a perfect approach. It's funny though, because I realized that a lot of the way I was doing it literally came from playing Grand Theft Auto, which has a parachute. Has parachuting stuff in it, and you have to land on stuff and you land in targets and, it's awesome. And so I think, I hate to say that, my, motorcycle racing came from playing Dakar 18 and then my skydiving came from playing Grand Theft Auto. That's, now I'm starting to hunt. Who knows? I'm starting to hunt, maybe that's from Red Dead Redemption.
Well, here's what I've noticed is that Gabe, you clearly love what you do. Clearly. And you're so engaging with the clients that are coming in to do this. And you're just so calm and chill and, mature about the whole thing. And you are a young lad. And it just seems to come very natural for you. And so I want to know where Gabe came from and how did Gabe become the man that he is today? And how did you get into this career?
I think part of that is as you were saying, it's when you love what you do, you want to share it the way you feel it. And that's how I feel. Where I came from, I guess my first interest was photography and videography. Since I started going to the university, that was the first assignment I took, photography, and I absolutely loved it. I knew that was something I wanted to pursue. I don't know if it was going to be like something I could make a living of. I'm from Colombia. I've lived my whole life in Colombia. That's why my accent and my vocabulary are a little limited right now, but still working on it.
Oh no, the chicks dig it.
Can't say no.
And probably some men. I mean,
I wouldn't know about that, but but I think that's how it started in terms of how interested I was in producing beautiful material, and then I did my university in Colombia and I came to the States. I was doing an internship in a design agency in Texas for 6 months.
How did you get to the States? How did that work out? And how old were you?
This was when I was probably 20, 21. Okay. It wasn't the first time I visited the States.
So last year.
Yeah. It was pretty much like 12 years ago. But thank you. But it wasn't the first time I visited the States. I have family in California. I have family in Chicago. But this time I was visiting because I got the internship in Texas because I applied it online. I was trying to find some place I could go, pursue a design career, and I found this agency. It was a paid internship. I did the whole visa process. I got here, got the job, and after a couple months, I was like, okay, this is fun. Design agency life is hard. It's like long days, a lot of work, a lot of creative work. Sometimes it's hard to find inspiration for creative work. So I was kind of tired of it. After a couple of months, I was like, okay, this is not as easy as I thought it was going to be. So I was just trying to find different things to do around the city. This was in San Antonio, Texas. and I just started looking at things to see, things to do, actually, things to do around here. And I found skydiving. And back then, I thought skydiving was only for military people or skydiving experts, you know? I didn't know it was a thing any civilian could do. And so I went to this place, Skydive San Marcos back then. And I got there and I asked, hey, how's skydiving like? You know, how can I do this? And they told me, like, you can either do a tandem or you can just go for ground school. And then after ground school, you do your first solo. And I was like, that's it? That's all I need? And
Isn't that frightening? Okay,
Wait,
jump with a
that
dude.
you can jump without tandem
Right.
somewhere?
No.
you can do that. You can do that in a lot of drop zones. They don't follow the program they do at Spaceland where I work at, but they do what's called an AFF, accelerating free fall, something,
Mm-hmm.
and you just go to it. You know, I mean, you just go to your solo as your first jump, and that's what I did.
Imagine the
I went to ground
liability
school.
on
I was
that.
terrified. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, can you imagine the liability on that?
Yeah, I mean, I did it. I went to ground school after the 8 hours of ground school. I was like,
That's
am I
giving it a
supposed to
go.
be ready for my solo? And
That's
I was.
really pretty awesome. Like to do that alone. I mean, did you have a couple instructors with you when you did it though?
You
Okay.
do have a couple instructors right there, like
Lord.
watching everything you do, watching your body position, and pulling if you don't pull. And that's exactly what happened. You know, as you expect, the first time you're getting off the airplane with 8 hours of information in your head, that's too much.
Right.
And that's what happened. I went out. For me, it was 5 seconds, and I felt the, and I was like, "What was that?" Well, the instructors pulled for me because it was time to pull, but for me, it was just like 5 seconds, and they were like, "No, it was already 50 seconds." I was like, "What?"
Wow.
Oh, I was totally gone. You know, like I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like 50, 45 seconds, but I loved it. You know, it was the best thing of my life. And I decided I wanted to become a skydiver from there, from first jump.
So let me ask you this though, the flying the parachute back down
That went
is
pretty good.
what?
That part went pretty good. You know,
Well,
it's just,
I,
I mean, it's
I'm telling you, I would have been
it
in
is
Alabama.
it is it's definitely easy. I mean, it is easy. I mean, it's just to me, it just seems like wow, because they're talking that my third jump, I guess, would be solo, and you know, and and you know, and like I said, maybe I'm overthinking that landing, you know, but it's like I guess I'm sitting there kind of trying, like I said, I wanted to figure out what's my angle of approach, what's my what's my glide slope, what's all all that stuff, and I mean maybe that's what's taught in the before the third jump is probably maybe what's going to go on. So
here's what you need to know. I mean, there's a lot more behind it, but for your first jump, you just need to know there's a pattern, and you have to follow certain waypoints on your pattern, and
okay.
then when it's time to flare, you flare, you know.
Oh,
And
cool.
then after you progress, you learn more stuff, and then you learn that more could have been worse or could have gone wrong because now you know more, you know. But it went good. I mean, I'm here.
Awesome. Oh, that's really cool.
Indeed, it is. So, what, in order for you, so here you were at university, you found your way to Texas, and you were working these hours that were unfulfilling. You did the jump.
Or, well, I mean, what next? I mean,
Yeah, what happened?
What flipped? Was it right after that, or was it? Did you do another jump, or what?
I loved it. I knew that this was gonna be my next hobby, you know, and that's
Mhm.
the way I approached it. I was doing it probably once a month, jumping once or twice a month or every 2 months. Whenever my friends say like, "Hey, let's go jump," we'll go do a jump, and that's it. But I was more focused in my career, you know. I
Right.
was in graphic design. I went back to Colombia. I got a job there, a really successful job in terms of how well paid I was in my
Mhm.
career because it was for a bank. It was for Citibank,
Oh my.
and it was a good career. It was a very successful, very lucrative. I was able to save money. I already paid for my uh, all my tuition, everything. Um, but after a couple of years, I'm talking 2016, 17, so I'm saying 6 years after, I kept jumping and seeing how cool it was compared to my 9 to 5 job.
So you were jumping in Colombia?
I was jumping in Colombia.
Is it very different or is it
Not
the
really.
same?
I
Same
mean, there's
setup?
different regulations, but it's pretty much the same. I mean, there's also good places to do it, good aircraft, great instructors, great people to jump with. So, and not a lot of people doing it over there. So I was like the only like one that actually learned here and then went to jump over there. It was pretty interesting.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Cool.
All right.
And then, well, I kept working, saving money until one day, and this was 2018. It was by this time of the year actually that I decided like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with that with my 9 to 5 job. I'm just gonna become a really good skydiver to the point that I can get a job as a videographer,
Hmm.
whatever it takes, and then to make a living out of this. And I was doing some freelance work for some skydiving companies over there as a video editor. So I knew how the videos go. You know, I know the process of making a video from the moment that people showed up at the drop zone and then approach to them, and that's probably where I started. So I was editing those videos, sending them to the customers, and saying like, "This is a great job. I want to pursue it." So I started doing it in Colombia, and then suddenly I found this job offer on Facebook from this place, from Skydive Spaceland Atlanta, that said we're looking for a video editor at this specific location. And I sent an email. I was like, okay, this is me. This is what I do. I'm a graphic designer, and I explain everything. Okay, what else? And that's actually what they said. Okay, you can edit videos. What else you can do? And I was desperate. I really wanted to get that job as a video editor because I knew that would be my first step.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, what do you need me to do? And they're like, okay, can you work like with wood? Can you create stuff with wood? We need help making cabinets. I was like, I'm your guy. I'll do it. I'll do
What?
anything.
What an
And
odd interview.
at the
Video
end,
editing and woodworking.
Next time I interview a doctor, I'm gonna go, so besides taking out someone's kidney, can you also build cabinets?
I need some things done around the house.
pretty much I was open to anything, and that was
That's
not the
awesome.
interview yet. That was only through emails. And when he decided to make an interview, um, I asked him like, "Hey, your name sounds familiar," and I started doing some research, and this guy who I was sending emails back and forth with ended up being my first instructor from my first jump back in Texas.
No
Whoa.
way.
Like, hey Kevin, it's me, it's Gabriel. I don't know if you remember me because you have 1,000 students, I guess. I don't know if he did, but he said, yeah, okay, that's you.
Aw.
So the job is yours.
Cool.
I was like, okay, I got it.
Oh, that's
The
awesome.
odds of that.
Everything
How
was
cool.
here. Yeah, it was amazing. It was meant to be.
That's awesome.
And
Oh my gosh.
I got here, and of course, I wasn't qualified yet to be a videographer or anything like that. So I started doing ground crew, building cabinets, all that, also editing videos. But I started jumping more often to get my skills built up,
Mhm.
and until I got the opportunity to show that I could jump with a camera and at least keep the passenger on the frame. And he was like, okay, keep doing it, keep practicing. And
That's
when
funny.
you
We're
get
called passengers.
I call passengers.
That's
Um,
fine.
That's how we call them in Colombia. They call them
Now, how now that's this is now we're getting into something I have no idea about. Is learning to get to the point to be able to frame people correctly and everything. I mean, how is this something that when you look back at let's say like you look back at the first time you were trying to do that, or trying to do it, actually doing it, and then now,
Mhm.
are you embarrassed by your younger self? I mean, is it really, how hard is it? I mean, is it, or is
Good
it, is this,
question.
I'm trying to figure out, like, the skill wise, is this something that you're like, yeah, I practiced for, I mean, where does that, how's the learning on that?
Absolutely. I'm super embarrassed, and I can't believe I was like able to give those videos to people. But back then I thought they were okay because I didn't know as much as I know right now.
Right.
Uh, but back then, yeah, I was just keeping them like a little dot on the video. You could barely see their face.
Oh,
Um, because there's a lot of things happening at the same time. You have
Yep.
to fly yourself to the spot where the sunlight is
Oh,
directly
I
on
didn't
their
even
face,
think
but
about that.
and you also want to be super close to them because you're filming with a wide angle camera
right, right,
that thing's very small, so you want to be right there, but at the same time you're scared to get too close because,
right,
well,
We could have reached out our arms and touched fingers.
absolutely, that's
right.
I mean,
where
we
you want
were
to be.
really close.
So it's a lot of happening at the same time, and you only have 50 seconds of practice on every jump.
Right.
So
Mm.
you have to keep jumping constantly, and that's what they said here, before I got the job. It's like, okay, show me 10 consistent videos
Oh,
in a row that show me that you're taking the money shot, where you can see their face, where you can see their body, where you can see what they want to see
hmm,
in 10 consecutive videos, and then the job is yours. And that was the most frustrating thing ever, because I could do three, and then the next one was a very, let's say, light student, and then I will sink, and then I couldn't get that shot.
wow.
So it's like
Oh,
that over again.
well, there's another thing on that I want to ask you about, because when Dave was falling, I mean, like I said, I was more or less performing. Dave was like moving his hands and making them spin and all that kind of stuff. So here you are wielding camera equipment, and I'm sure that moving that kind of can cause those issues as well. Yeah. So you're not just thinking about your extremities, you're thinking of the extremity of the extremities.
Well, you're
Yes.
I mean, are you predicting now what someone else, when you'll see now when someone starts to rotate, and you'll be able to kind of go with them, I would assume. But rather than you just doing a flat turn, you now have to do you have to do
All kinds of stuff.
sort of
Right.
a pan
Yeah.
turn kind of thing.
And,
Wow.
and you want to keep them in frame, and at the end you want to like creatively produce something that they're gonna enjoy at the end. So
Yeah.
if it's a very cloudy day, you don't want to be right here, because then the background is gonna be all white, and it's gonna be like the
Mm.
contrast is gonna be too much. It's not gonna look as good. But instead, I can just go up and watch the ground.
Hmm.
Like film the ground and film them
Right.
going to the ground. It's a very rapidly creative creation, like
Hmm.
happening on the spot. And that's cool, to be able to improvise at the moment.
Yeah.
And
No kidding.
All
And
the
to think
while
that you
you're falling to the earth at the same time. You're skydiving at the same time, but you're also doing this. You're making consideration for what's going to be the best thing for this client.
exactly. So at the end, you need to be very skilled on how you fly your body, so you don't have to think about it anymore. Like you do it automatically, and you can focus on what you're
Got it.
producing. And
wow.
that's where you start practicing a lot. There's now, well, not now, but at least in Colombia we don't have those, which is wind tunnels that
Hmm.
you can just go, and it's like a free fall simulator where you
Yep.
go and see how this will change your flight. Moving your fingers, moving your toes, moving your head is gonna change
Right.
your fall rate, or your turning, or everything. So
Wow.
that's how you train, but
Oh
that's super
God.
expensive.
I would be the chick that slams into the side of it and
Would you would you recommend that we go over to that iFly place in Marietta and give this a go at some point?
It's fun. It's great for training, but it's never gonna beat skydiving.
Right. Okay.
No. See, I wanted to do that, but now that I've done this like, okay,
know.
you could either ride a racehorse or you can go to the little pony show where it's on the tandem that goes around the pole.
Right.
It's like, yeah, it's great for training because, as I'm saying, yeah, you can get a feeling of how the wind
Effects.
plays with your body, and you can play with it.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of fun, yeah, it is fun, but there's nothing like this.
Yeah. No.